He says the Bible is merely a human product. So he denies inspiration. See, this guy, your friends that read this book and don't know about Christianity, they think this guy's disproving the Bible. He's not disproving the Bible. He believes the Bible's merely a human product, merely a human book, okay? He assumes what your friends think he's proving. Assuming the Bible is only a human book, then you have to explain, well, how did we get the Bible in its present state? Okay? That's just like if you assume God doesn't exist, you reject creation, and then you have to speculate about an alternative, and you end up, getting human beings evolving from sludge. Okay? And then that's what he's doing. He assumes Christianity is false. He doesn't disprove it. He argues that Christianity is anti-woman. Okay? And again, the guy seems to be oblivious of the Protestant Reformation. Okay? When he talks about Christianity, he means Roman Catholicism, period. So he's oblivious to it, but he slams the Roman Catholic Church for killing 5 million people in a 300-year period of time, like, witch trials and stuff throughout the Middle Ages, okay? I'm not a fan of the Roman Catholic Church, but even the most radically anti-Roman Catholic historical scholars would argue that the church killed less than 80,000 women in a 300-year period of time. It was a 400-year period of time. It's probably somewhere between 20 and 40,000, And you might be thinking, yeah, but Fernandes, they're still people. Yeah, but the truth is the truth. If the Roman Catholic Church didn't kill 5 million, then it would be wrong for us to spread a lie like that about them. And granted, I am not pro-pope. I don't want to see a Protestant pope, okay? And I'm not saying this particular, pope guy. The Roman Catholic Church certainly could have done worse. There's some doozies in there in the College of Cardinals. But the fact of the matter is, I don't believe that there's some infallible guy walking around on this planet who is the perfect representation of Christ when he speaks on religious matters. That is just plain idolatrous. But the fact of the matter is, when we proclaim something about Roman Catholicism, let's tell the truth. And Brown doesn't do that. He argues that patriarchy, the man's in charge, replaced ancient pagan matriarchy. So he argues that in the pagan religions, the women were in charge. They ran the show. Study ancient pagan religions. Every once in a while you'll find a little tribal culture where there's a woman who calls the shots, okay? I know back east in New Jersey, my grandma Minichino, her side of the family, she, whatever she said, nobody messed with Marian Minichino, okay? She had connections. But whatever the case, even where they were worshiping female deities, okay, it was still not a woman-friendly religion. Even in pagan religions where they had female temple prostitutes, it was still not a woman-friendly religion. And in the end, the guys in charge were guys, okay? So this idea that there was this ancient, perfect matriarchy where women were calling the shots and everything was great with paganism, and then all of a sudden this evil, intolerant Christianity came on the scene and ruined paradise. It's like, Dan Brown, get a life, man. Get a life. So, see, here's one thing we Protestants need to understand about when Constantine professed faith in Christ, and then another generation or two later, Christianity became the state-sponsored religion. So if you're going to become a member, if you're going to become a citizen of the Roman Empire, you had to be baptized into the Roman Catholic Church, okay? One thing we need to recognize, it really wasn't the church that ruined the Roman Empire. It was the Roman Empire that ruined the church. When the church merged with the Roman Empire, the pagan Roman Empire, they were in the business of slaughtering people for religious reasons, okay? All the ancient church was before Constantine was just a bunch of people who loved Jesus and were running and hiding from the law because they were getting killed for loving Jesus, okay? But then they were given all this power and they merged with the state, and the pagan, Roman paganism and biblical Christianity began to blend, and that hybrid became what we call the Roman Catholic Church today, okay? But the idea that the pagan Roman Empire was great before Christianity came on the scene and ruined it, that's just not true. He has a false view. Brown has a false view of Mary Magdalene. She was not the wife of Jesus. She was not the mother of his daughter. Okay. This idea that she is the Holy Grail, she carries Jesus' royal bloodline, I don't even need to respond to that, okay? That she was the leader of the church and the first of the apostles. There were some writings from, I think, the 4th century AD that spoke about her as the first of the apostles. What they meant, though, was the word apostle is being used very loosely, not an official apostle, but one sent forth with a message. And she was the first one to see the risen Christ. So she's called the first of the apostles, the first to proclaim the message of the resurrection. That's all they meant there, okay? You find that it's talked about in one of the Gnostic Gospels that Jesus kissed her, okay? And there's missing more words in that particular passage, so they have to reconstruct it, okay? That's problematic and all. But with the Gnostics, okay, it was more of like a secret handshake type of kiss is all that's being spoken about there. And then these are heretical writings. These are writings that came, you know, anywhere from 1 to 300 or 400 years after Jesus walked the earth. So, you know, this idea that she was the leader of the church, first of the apostles, she's the Holy Grail, carrying Jesus' bloodline, pregnant with his child, and that she's slandered by the anti-woman church, these male chauvinist pigs, and all. It's just not true, okay? Let me tell you, all we know about Mary Magdalene, okay, we just know that she was this lady and Jesus cast a bunch of demons out of her, and then she started supporting his ministry, her and some other ladies, okay? She's named after a town. You didn't name a lady after a town unless she was not married.